Hi, I'm Eugene Low on A Slice of Life R on 938 Live for your dose of do-it-yourself motivation. Now, when it comes to happiness, fulfillment, emotional wellness, or whatever you want to call it, most of us have an outside-in sort of approach, as in, I'll be happy when this happens, I'll be satisfied when that person changes, I'll achieve more tranquility when this stops happening, I'll be a better person when I get this job, that qualification, this body, this mysterious, spiritual enlightenment that will finally answer all my questions. So what happens until then? We remain unhappy, or at least not as fulfilled as we can be. So our happiness graph is fluctuating constantly, and because we're leaving our state of mind to the influence of external factors. So how then can we achieve a more sustainable type of well-being? Sharing her thoughts and perspectives with us today is the Clarity Messenger, Nancy Ho, the region's renowned transformative and transcendental coach, state of mind specialist, clinical hypnotherapist as well, and she's spent the last 25 years training, coaching, and adding the creative spark plug to thousands of individuals who want to get more out of themselves in their lives. Nancy, welcome to the show.
Hello there, Eugene.
So share with us your thoughts about how we can transcend this kind of mentality that's trapping a lot of us,
I think the first thing we need to, any one of us, right, need to recognize is this big word called misunderstanding. The misunderstanding that our happiness is coming from outside of us. I'll be happy when. For example, I'll be happy when I have got this chocolate cake or this buffet, or I get married, or I have 10 children, or
more money.
Promotion. I get richer, and so on and so forth. Well, not to disregard this sense of achievement. Sure, we want a sense of achievement. But if we think that our life is only coming from this sense of achievement, then we get our true sense of happiness. Then it's a big, huge, gigantic misunderstanding.
Sure, yeah. I mean, we're not saying that these things are not good for us. Sure, they make us happy on some level. It's when we, when we don't get it and we find something missing. That's the problem. Right?
How about that? How do we get that without chasing after it?
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Sure. I mean, like I said, if we don't have this sense of achievement, then we're just wasting our life. We all have a sense of purpose, what we want, why we are here, and all that. But first, it got to come from the inside out, and not the outside in. So we have heard, from people that the power of now, for example, Akitole, talking about, being in the now, that's where you achieve much more, and lots of other self-improvement gurus out there. But yet, it's almost like an impossible dream to be in the now.
Yeah. It's strange, right? I mean, it's a very simple, straightforward concept, and we've all heard about, everything comes from within, from ourselves, but it's not easy to actually achieve that true motivation that will help us. So where do we start then,
Stop.
Stop.
That's right.
Simply.
Now imagine, simply stop. Now think about it, right? You're driving, okay? And you didn't expect the traffic light to turn red. Do you need to know how to do more?
Okay.
I don't think so. Right? So, do you need to know how to make the traffic light stop? Change to green, for example. Not stop, change to green. No, you simply need to slow down and stop.
Yes.
So, a metaphor. For example, right, we have this pail of muddy water. And I say to you, Eugene, at the bottom are the gems, the rubies, the emeralds, what have you. And then you look into it and it says that, no, I can't see it. And you keep stirring the water. You're not going to be able to see it at all. What do you have to do? Stop. Wait.
Calm down.
That's right. After a while, everything will just settle and you say, wow, look at the gems. So this metaphor is the same with what is within us. Sure, if we take a 10-year-old, a teenager, sure, there are lots that they need to learn, to know. But for most of us above, let's say 35, we know lots. But it's the application of what we know is very much lacking.
Yes.
Because we keep wanting to know more, keep wanting to add to what we already know, overflow. As though therefore it's like stirring and stirring and stirring.
Right.
So that's what I mean by stop.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, instead of chasing after more and more knowledge,
Right.
it's more, which is just about accumulation.
Right.
It's more about how we actually use the information that we already have.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then really to excel in it. It's not to know more, but it's like what we know and what do we do about it and do well and very well.
So specialize. Focus.
That's right. And
Right.
be concise and precise about it.
Yes, and that brings us to what we're talking about today as well. This specialization, this focus, right?
focus,
This channeling of everything that we have right
Right.
now into this is what you term as clarity as well. You're
That's
the
right.
clarity messenger.
That's right.
Yeah, and you'll be telling us more about how we can achieve this clarity, which will give us more, from that peace of mind, resilience, freedom, self-empowerment as well, all that comes with this personal clarity. But how do we achieve that? We'll get more thoughts from Nancy Ho in just a while here on A Slice of Life. Nancy is the region's renowned transformative and transcendental coach, state of mind specialist, and clinical hypnotherapist. She's had 25 years of experience training and coaching people. More information over at her website. It's theworkofnancyho.com. More on A Slice of Life with me, Eugene Lo, on 938 Live in just a while. Hi, I'm Eugene Lo on A Slice of Life on 938 Live, your dose of do-it-yourself motivation. And Nancy Ho is in with us to tell us how we can experience amazing clarity, peace, and freedom regardless of any challenging circumstances. That is like the Holy Crail, right? For most of us, it's like how, because there is a lot of talk. I'm sure you've heard of things like this as well. It's focus, it's all about awareness of the now, being the present, this kind of thing. But it's not so easy to do, right? let's get more information from Nancy about how we can break it down into simple steps. She'll help us clarify this with us as well. Nancy is the clarity messenger, the region's renowned transformative and transcendental coach, state of mind specialist, and clinical hypnotherapist. All right, Nancy, tell us more about this clarity then.
Okay. I'd like to start with this statement. You are always living in your feelings from the principle of thought taking form, moment to moment in your experience. As a big misunderstanding that our feelings is coming from outside of us. Example, the management, or the family, the stresses. None of it is always coming from our thoughts. The three simple principles: mind, consciousness, thought. So mind is the intelligence, let's call it the intelligence of life, of things that's all around us. Consciousness is the awareness, the reality, what we can see. And the thought is the rudder of the ship. It guides you through life. So the more effectively, how you're going to use that rudder, then the more you're able to sail through life. Pretty much to your surprise, miracles happened.
Right.
Right? But if we think that we want to control stuff outside of us, then we missed it altogether. We really missed it altogether because it's mind, consciousness, thought. So our feelings is always coming from our thoughts, not from someone that make us upset or hurt us or anything else.
Yes.
Right? Or maybe to give a better understanding what I mean by this thought, it's the principle of thought. It's not even your thought or my thought. Okay, let's look at the iceberg. We all know that, right? 11% of what we can see visible, the tip of the iceberg, okay, is only 11%. And the rest of it we cannot see. So in the same metaphor, thoughts, the principle of thoughts, is coming from the rest of the iceberg that we cannot see, that's not visible.
Right.
So we pretty much focus that if we are upset or not getting the promotion or not or miss that big raise or whatever, we are focused on that 11%, but it isn't what it is at all. It's not even subconscious. It's something that's totally unconscious. So the deeper understanding that we have that is coming from the 89% of the iceberg, so to speak, immediately it loses the power. The power that makes us weak.
So it's not so much what happens or who happens to us. It's how we perceive it, how we make meaning out of it. And a
Just
lot
from
of
the
it,
11%. It's not even that.
right.
It's
Okay.
not even that. That's the reason why I said stop.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is really the part that is invisible to us
Right, okay.
altogether.
Yes.
So why, people go into meditation or being a meditative mind and all that, all right, is to be able to quiet down and not to react.
Yes.
Look at the whole world, all that stresses and all that, unrest is because of all that chaotic thoughts. That's from the 11%.
Yes, people feel offended. People feel that
Correct.
some part of them or their beliefs,
That's
have
right.
been insulted or, been
Correct.
encroached in a sort of way. It's true. And I really like how you put it that, how we can start having more of this clarity and peace and freedom is to actually stop.
Correct.
And that goes a bit into that mindfulness as well, because when we stop and think about how these thoughts are affecting our feelings, then we take control. Then we can say that, no, I'm not going to allow this person or this event or this thing to make me feel this way. And then immediately you switch.
But you know what, Eugene, that's not even necessary.
Wow. You're 2 steps ahead of me.
Really, that's even not necessary because
Wow, okay.
what you just said is still coming from the 11%.
Okay. All right. So how?
And
so,
that 11%, again, it can cause misunderstanding,
Right. Okay.
right? It may make good for a while. But after a while, we get stirred up again, our feelings. Why should I be the one to be, always understanding or perceived your way?
Right.
And what about my needs? Why is it my needs are not taken care of? Why should
Okay.
I always be considerate?
Okay, this is quite new to me.
Yeah.
Because we don't. You're saying that we don't even have to analyze the situation.
Nope.
There's no need for all of that. Just stop.
Just
Do not
stop.
think about it at all.
And a deeper understanding, which what I'll use the term insightful understanding. What you have mentioned is called intellectual understanding. That's only good for a while. Okay? So
Yeah.
hence why people are caught in the hamster wheel. Because they thought that, oh yes, I perceive this way, let me slow down, so on and so forth. But then again, next day or a week later,
Yeah.
right, the same problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's not good at all.
And we see this happening in, on a more personal note in our relationships,
That's
with
right.
our partners, with our spouses. We also see this happening, of course, with foreign relations between countries, even if you want to go that far, right?
Right.
And it's because people keep wanting to talk and thrash things out and analyze and think about the other person when that is impossible.
That's
You
right.
can never come to a point where both parties understand each other.
Exactly,
Yeah?
exactly. So when my clients come in and said, so and so happened, so and so said this and that happened, and I said, how do you know?
Exactly.
I said, of course I know, I was there. I said, yes, your experience is real, but how do you know? You are not that person's head.
Correct.
How do you know? Even
Yes.
that person doesn't even know. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, it's true. Most of us don't even understand ourselves and our motivations and why we act this way, right? Most of the time it's because it's just heat of the moment or whatever, and we immediately think we are idiots after that, right? But, of course, we don't tell these things
That's
to the other
right.
people.
Yes.
That's a fascinating conversation that I'm having this afternoon with my guest Nancy Ho, but we'll have to go for headline news, sports and business. More with Nancy in about 15 minutes here on A Slice of Life on 938 Live with me, Eugene Loh. Nancy Ho is the Clarity Messenger, the region's renowned transformative and transcendental coach, state of mind specialist and clinical hypnotherapist as well, with over 25 years of experience. More information over at theworkofnancyho.com. I've got a link to her website as well on my Facebook page. Search A Slice of Life under pages. More on A Slice of Life are here on 938 Live in just a while. I'm Eugene Lowe with Slice of Life R here on 938 Live, your dose of do-it-yourself motivation. Now, when most of us think about, being a better person, doing better at our jobs, being more successful, having better relationships, and so on, we often think in terms of, all right, I need to get more information, more knowledge, more skills, more of something, right? In order to get that the better situation, the improved situation. But what my guest is saying today is quite revolutionary. She's saying that no, you don't have to get more of this or achieve more of that in order to get your clarity, peace, and freedom, because all you need is right inside of you. Can you tell us more, Nancy?
That's right.
Yes. Before that, let me tell you more about Nancy. She is the Clarity Messenger, known as the Clarity Messenger. She is the region's renowned transformative and transcendental coach as well, state of mind specialist, clinical hypnotherapist, and she has spent the last 25 years training, coaching, and adding the creative spark plug to thousands of individuals who want to get more out of themselves in their lives. More over at theworkofnancyho.com. All right. Sorry to interrupt, Nancy. Go ahead.
All right. This word called wisdom.
Yes.
We all have wisdom. And it's not coming from age. Even a child has wisdom. But we are not allowing this wisdom to navigate our life because of this big word called ego. The big self. The big mind. All right. So when the ego gets in the way, then we always like to fight, react, and win. And
Right.
at the end of the day, what are we winning?
Yes.
In fact, we know when you go into argument, there's no such thing as winning.
Right. Okay. So when you talk about ego, you're talking about this sense of this arrogance that thinks I'm better than you. I'm a better person. That's why I have to be right all the time. And
That's
that's
right.
why I have to do right and do more all the time.
Or at least I appear like I'm right.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
Having that control, so to speak. Sure, we all want to have control. But then we must be sensible to know what we can control and what we cannot control. Example, in a relationship, you cannot control the other person, right? You can only control oneself. And again, controlling oneself is controlling or rather using the principle to control self. That is mind, consciousness, thought.
Yes.
And a deep understanding that we are living in the feeling of our thinking, not the feeling of the world. The moment we feel something, that means that we are unhappy or we are upset, and it's because of something outside of us, then slow down
Right.
to realize it's not. It's only thoughts.
This is the trap that a lot of us are in, right? And what you're saying, it sounds logical. It's true when you think about it, right?
Right.
You really can't control. We're talking about, we talked about relationships. You really can't control the other person, but most of us try our very best to do so. So it's very strange. This is. I think you described it as a hamster wheel.
That's right.
That we're stuck in. We just keep because we are running and the wheel makes us keep running. It's like we can't get out of it.
And then you actually use a lot of energy.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, you're tired.
Frustrated.
You're overwhelmed and all that. And then you get, into a depression
Yeah.
or anxiety. So lots of my clients come to me because they have panic attack, anxiety, disorder,
Yeah.
and then eventually lead into depression.
Yeah.
And all because they want to control things outside of them.
Yeah, or they think too much, a lot of people, they keep questioning, right? And they think that by questioning, they will find the answers. But you think about it, we can't. Being human, come on, how much do we know about the universe, really? And here we are trying to answer questions about ourselves and, spirituality and other people and why people are like this. When we should just stop asking the questions because, the answers may never be found.
That's right. There are three things we need to know to get out of this hamster wheel that we talk about. All right? How life works, the way you think, and who you really are.
Okay.
Very deep. It's not about our ego. It's not about personality. It's not about character as who we are. Okay, who we really are, the three principles. Mind, consciousness, thought. And the way we think. The moment I think that, Eugene, you caused this, misunderstanding. You are you. You do what you do. You have your path. I have mine.
Yes.
All right. So not to get affected, it really is like to be able to, realize it's just thoughts. The 89% of the rest of the iceberg.
Yes.
So don't sweat it.
Yeah.
The book, don't sweat over the small stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Really,
right?
don't sweat it.
I mean, if we want other people to accept us as the imperfect and flawed human beings that we are, and we often think about that. Oh, if only this person knew what I was really feeling, or if only this person understood me. But that is exactly what we're doing to the other person, right?
Exactly.
By assuming things.
Yeah. Often
Right?
I said, what is there to understand?
Yes.
Agree to disagree. Right? Absolutely be in the now. Then you find that you're at peace. You have that joy, the happiness, and excel in everything that you do.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. Most of us, in fact, every one of us, we achieve most when we are relaxed.
Yes.
Isn't
Absolutely.
it?
Yes.
Right? When we are all crazy about we must achieve this, this is the deadline, we must get this done. And that's where the messed up.
Yeah. Performance anxiety.
Exactly.
Right?
And there's no clarity.
Yes.
Then the gem in us cannot surface.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just that simple.
Yeah.
To have that deep understanding that life is all about just thoughts. Inside out rather than outside in concept.
Yeah, and that's why, I mean, you're giving a special gift to listeners of a Slice of Life Hour today. You're running a complimentary clarity masterclass that's happening very soon. I'll tell you more about that how you can secure a place for yourself as well later on. But you're calling it a class, of course, for general understanding, but you're not really trying to teach people more things, right?
No, remember right from the beginning I said you don't need more skills.
Yes,
you don't
exactly.
need more techniques. Anyway, people are lazy. They don't use it anyway.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah?
And that's what I like about this. Not that, I'm being lazy about it. Well, I am.
Well.
This is the sort of like people talk about like instant overnight. If you can understand it properly, that's the thing, right?
The awakening.
Yes. Because, and this, we see this happening very much in our relationships as well, because people talk about communication, right? And they tell you, the do's and the don'ts, use we, use us, use I instead of you. And, who remembers, right? When you're in a fight and you're in the heat of the moment, you get angry, everything goes out the window, right? So that's why we don't need all this extra knowledge. We just need to, like you said, stop.
Yeah. If anything else, just remember to stop.
Yeah.
And breathe.
Yeah. Take a deep breath in, and you just stop, and then you focus back to again yourself and not talking about the ego, of course.
Not the ego. You see, when you stop, take deep breathing. Okay, your wisdom is able to navigate.
Yes. Correct.
Then whatever so-called the action that you're going to take will at least be one that is positive, and you don't really need to think about being positive.
Yes.
Because you stop being reactive.
Right. Okay. People with, I suppose, anger management issues will find this rather tough, I suppose. But that's also important to remember in terms of controlling your anger, right?
But even then, how does one get angry? Because they're thinking that it's coming from the other person.
Correct. It's the process.
Correct.
Right?
So if you just realize that it's not the other person.
Yeah.
Right? It's our inner game stuff. So in the masterclass, I talk about inner game stuff. Perhaps it's our fear. Right? Perhaps our weaknesses.
Yes.
Our negativity. So if we go inside, it's not about self-blame, but it's really to recognize that it might just be my fear. Or simply, my fear. My fear of losing, my fear of, not able to let go, whatever fear might be.
Yeah, fear of being
that
alone,
fear loses its
of
power.
Yes.
Exactly.
And very often it is, just because our part in it, the role that we play, because essentially we are the only person we can understand and control, right?
Yeah.
And if something is making us unhappy, really it's us making us unhappy. Who else has the power to do that?
Yeah,
really,
in fact, that unhappiness is often coming from insecurities. Insecurities is not a state of mind. I often look at it as very much like germs and viruses. It's there, but it doesn't always have to attack us.
Right, okay.
Isn't it? Germs, viruses, bacteria, we know it's around us, but we don't have to get affected. So it's the same with insecurities.
So we build up the immunity against these things.
Yes, that's right. So again, if you just stop and not react, then your insecurities cannot affect you.
That's where the clarity comes in as
That's
well,
right?
And I like it because it's so simple to do and to understand as well. Right? There's no deep philosophy to...
Simple to understand intellectually.
Yes. Difficult to do in practice.
But no, to have the insightful understanding.
Right.
That requires the awakening.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's how the class comes about, to help them with that awakening.
And that one, like you said, it comes naturally.
Yes.
You have to stop allowing all these barriers, to trap that, Once you are relaxed, once you surrender, once you let it go, once you stop, that's when your inner awakening will just come forth naturally.
Exactly. So hence the term, let go and let God. Not in the religious sense, but let go and let God.
Exactly.
Instead of want to control and want to change the world.
Just having faith in the flow of things.
Exactly.
Right? Because there's so many things. I suppose 99% of life that we cannot control. Life is so unpredictable, right? So when we allow our state of mind and our success or whatever you want to call it, we allow these things to affect it. Then we're just on a roller coaster.
That's right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Simple. It's not so complex or complicated, but if only the person's willing to just sit back and really have that deeper understanding of mind, consciousness, thought.
All right.
That is all.
And I suppose yes, if you would like to find out more about this, and I assure you, it's really quite fascinating. But Nancy will be able to, I suppose, do a better job of explaining all of this to you at her masterclass. She is giving listeners of a Slice of Life Hour on 938 Live a special gift, a complimentary Clarity Masterclass. It's happening on Thursday, 22nd of January in the evening, 7:15 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. in the Holland Village area. And to reserve a seat for yourself or for more information, you can call 627-27118. That's 627-27118, or email Nancy Ho at theworkofnancyho.com. I've got that information over at my Slice of Life Facebook page as well. Search a Slice of Life under pages. Now, in the final couple of minutes of the show, Nancy, what would you like to share with listeners?
All right. If you think life is difficult, often, my clients or my participants said, oh yeah, it's easier said than done. And so it is. It's not about easy or difficult. It's to be able to be in that neutral state. Accept. The acceptance is not about not wanting to make any changes for ourselves, but acceptance means stop fighting, stop struggling.
Yes.
What is the point? It's already not working, that.
Yes.
What's insanity?
Yeah.
Doing the same thing, wanting different results, right?
Yes.
So if you know something is not working, then
change it.
It's not working. Yeah. So therefore, don't keep pressing on the same action.
Yes.
So I give you this so-called formula. Okay? Mind plus thought plus consciousness equals reality. So if you like that reality, great. Go on doing what you've been doing. But you don't like or some aspects of the reality, then the new formula, mind plus new thought plus consciousness gives you new reality. And the new thoughts is not the affirmation or the positive thinking. The new thought is insight.
Right.
Wow.
Okay.
Insight.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Nancy, for that. And yes, once again, the reminder for that complimentary Clarity Masterclass that Nancy will be conducting. For more information on that and to secure your place, call 627-27118 or email Nancy Ho at theworkofnancyho.com. Thank you very much, Nancy, for your time today. And Nancy Ho is the Clarity Messenger, the region's renowned transformative and transcendental coach, state of mind specialist, clinical hypnotherapist as well. More information over at theworkofnancyho.com. And if you have something to share with me as well on the show, do get in touch via email. It's eugene@mediacorp.com.sg. I'm Eugene Loh. This has been a Slice of Life Hour on 938 Live. Thank you so much for your company.